Hey guys, and welcome back to Overland Garage. My name is Ben, and we are changing everything. So if you want to know what we're changing, stick around. You're going to want to see this. So number one, I've been told that, well, looking at my analytics, I've noticed that I talk too much. So I've decided to just, instead of telling you everything we're going to do, I'm just going to show you what we are going to do in the future. And number two, I found out that you guys are definitely more interested into the building and not so much the exploring, because we just don't do that many overland trips. So I'm going to try to cut down on the exploration side of Overland Garage. Yes, we still will do that. We'll still go out and do the overland stuff, and we'll still put that on the channel for you. But our motto has changed from build and explore to built, not bought. And that's because I see so many videos of people just going, hey, I bought this and I'm gonna bolt it on, or I'm doing this now, we're gonna bolt that on. And they show us all these parts and pieces and they just bolt on, bolt on, bolt on, bolt on. And so I get a little tired of that, and I'm sure some of you guys want to see some actual fabricating and some building. And let's face it, nowadays with gas prices and me having a diesel at $6.59 a gallon, we want to save money. So we're going to do everything on a budget, and that's the whole purpose of this channel. We build things on a budget and we're practical with it. So I hope you guys adjust to this little change that we've come up with, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. My stuff's going to be more to the point and less talking. So if you're into all that, stick around and we're going to show you what we're working on today. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is I have a Foxbody Mustang, and I had that big, heavy, old stock factory K Member, and that had to go bye-bye. So we picked up from AJE a brand new tubular K Member, and you're like, I thought this channel was about building stuff, and I'm like, well, certain things you just can't build, and it would be way too heavy if I built it because I'm a steel fabricator and I like to build things overkill. Anyways, so we're going to show you this, and we're going to walk through the process of installing a tubular K Member from AJE on a Foxbody Mustang. So as you can see, this is all tubular. It's all powder coated, black powder coated. It's a really nice piece. And because I have the LS motor, it came with the LS Motor Mounts, as you see in this video here, and then it also came with the Spring Perches, and that's because I want to retain the factory suspension in the front until I can afford to maybe down the road do coilovers. So this is what we're working with here. We got the Spring Perches, the LS Motor Mounts, and the factory K Member, and we're going to walk through step by step on how this thing installs. So pretty straightforward. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out the old bolts. I saved them. I just put them right back in the original holes. And this is actually what they use to put the K Member back in its factory location. So we're going to reuse those. But obviously we got to take the old bolts out. And so we got Alright, so now I got my trusty under hood light right here, and I'm going to try to slide on in on the creeper and throw the front bolts in per the instructions first, because that's what AJE recommends, and we'll see how it lines up. But I've heard these are pretty good, so we'll just throw it in and see what happens. Might I add that this is so much lighter than the factory one. Like, anybody that's wanting to use that factory thing, throw that thing in the trash. That's garbage. thing that AJE recommends, and I just screwed up with that, is you got to not strip out the bolts for one thing. You got to square up this thing. So they recommend moving it around a little bit, and that's why they make the slots in these. They make these things slotted so they slide. So you just want to make sure that you got even space on both sides before you bolt it up solid. And then you're good. Now, if you're like me and you're in a hurry to do things all the time, you do forget some things once in a while. And you're going, what did you forget? Well, something right in this area. So I forgot the spring perch, and that bolts on with the bolts to put the K member up. I left the other side completely bolted so that I can just do one at a time. So I'm gonna throw the spring perch on real quick, and they're the same spring perch, so they don't have a direction. They'll only go on one way, so you can't screw this up. Like, they go like that. There's no way to screw that up. So we're gonna just throw the bolts in these and then finish bolting this thing up, and then we'll talk about it a little. Really good in there. I mean, you can't tell me by looking at that you're not like as impressed as I am. I mean, with the spring perches and everything else that's going on with this, looks really good. And it literally is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts. And the only other thing I'm going to do is put the LS Motor Mounts on, which literally, I mean, it doesn't get much simpler than that. One bolt through each one of them, and then the regular LS motor mount bolts. The only thing is this left-hand one on the left is the passenger side, and I've heard that we may have to trim some of this off, this ear off, to get the oil dipstick by. But we'll get there when we get there. We're gonna put these things on the motor and see where they fit, and if they have to trim them, I have to trim them. The other thing is those bushings, those go to the power steering rack, so we're gonna buy a new power steering rack, I think, because that one's kind of wasted. But that was an AJE cross member, or K member as we call it, and then like I said before, I'm gonna use the factory lower control arms for now. But spring perch, lower control arms, brakes, struts, and this old girl will be pretty much done as far as front suspension goes. So I hope you guys enjoyed that content. Like I said, we're not doing a whole lot of talking that much anymore. We're going to show you step by step how we do things, and then I hope this was super simple to explain. The only thing I have complaints about with the AJE cross member, and maybe you guys do too, if you do, throw those complaints down there. I've never put an LS motor in. They're supposed to work great, but the only complaint I have AJE, and you gotta do a better job with this, throw some pictures in your directions and let us know what the heck is going on, because there's no pictures, it's only words. It's just unbolt the old one and rebolt the new one, which in essence it really is that, but come on guys, you could do better. So a little bit of disappointment with the instructions, but everything else was top notch. I mean, I would totally use AJE products again, and recommend them for an LS swap. So if you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and share our content, and keep helping us out. You guys are, the only reason we're around is because you guys are supporting us. So we enjoyed doing this. It was a simple job, and I hope you guys tune in next week, because I've got some new tires, some new wheels, and we're going to be showing a how-to on how to do that. So if you like this video, be prepared to click on that video that will be popping up very shortly. So, thanks for tuning in. This has been Overland Garage.